Hello everyone, my name's Sam, and I'd just like to say how grateful I am for the Big Issue, for all the help and support that they've given me over the years. They've actually been a great help and support to me twice. The first time was 20 years ago, and I had a problem with alcohol, and I became homeless, and somebody told me about the Big Issue, and I sold the Big Issue for a couple of years, and they gave me a lot of help and a lot of support, and they helped me to get onto a college course, and I thought that was my time with the Big Issue was over. I'd moved on. But unfortunately, things went wrong again, and this time I ended up with a problem with drugs, and things went very bad very quickly. Crack cocaine has a habit of doing that to you. And I ended up homeless, and I ended up with a habit. I was begging, and I was also pregnant. I was too embarrassed to go back to the Big Issue and say, after all the help that you've given me, I failed, and it's worse now than it was before. But I didn't have to go back to the Big Issue. An outreach worker from the Big Issue heard that I was on the Strand in the West End, and he came out to see me, and he came out 3 or 4 times and couldn't find me, and he kept coming back out on his own time at night to look for me, and he found me, and he asked me to come back, and I said no, because I felt so bad that I'd messed everything up, and he kept coming back and coming back. And in the end, I said yes, and I went to the office, and they were absolutely brilliant. They helped me to get some accommodation. They supported me through the pregnancy, and I've now been off drugs for 12 years. I couldn't have done it without the help of John Bird and Peter Bird and the wonderful staff at the Big Issue. I now work with the Big Issue to help other vendors in Covent Garden. And they've been absolutely wonderful to me, and they didn't just save my life, they saved my child's life as well. So I'd like to say a big thank you to them. And now I'd like to pass you over to Jane.
Hi, my name's Jane. I came from quite a privileged background, middle class, qualifications and everything. Then I had a motorbike accident when I was 20. My life went to pieces. I spent 9 years in that hospital, which eventually resulted in losing my leg. I got involved in a very abusive relationship because I had no confidence, and ended up in London. And from that, I became a beggar, became very down and out after having gone through loads of, breaking the law, and I got in trouble with the police. And one day I met a Big Issue seller, and I helped him out trying to sell the papers, and I realised I could do it. And from then, I thought, wow, this is going to work for me. This is, going to really help me, because I've always, been working before my life went wrong. And from that point, I just felt like there was a light in my life, and that there was a reason for me to keep on living, because I'd hit properly down and out, and I didn't want to live anymore. So I started, finding out how to get badged up. I got myself badged up, started sending the paper, and from there on, I've never looked back. Life just gets better and better. I've never claimed benefits for 10 years. I support myself and have a lot of respect of the public, and I've got my confidence back. And I feel good about life, and I'm now wanting to raise money by doing a sponsored trek around the Monopoly Board of London. But that's going to be something. I've got to find out someone's going to give me a wheelchair to do it in. But we'll see, that's all in the future. But, if it wasn't for the Big Issue, I wouldn't be here today. And I'll keep selling the paper as long as I have to keep going. So there you go. Thank you.